Hello, and welcome to Mind and Money Show, where we talk all things mindset, money management, and our entrepreneurial journey. Along the way, we're going to throw in some amazing guests for good measure. I'm Shane Hyland.
I'm Gareth Shears. This show is going to change your life and teach you skills that school never taught you.
Boom.
Okay, energy price caps. So I keep speaking to people around the energy price cap, and about 8% of people think we're only going to be paying about £2,500 a year maximum. So that means that ex-professional footballer in your village who lives down that lane with that lovely big house with a nice pool and gym and all that, he's only going to be paying £2,500, same as your 4-bed detached red row home. But actually the truth is, it's not going to be that. So don't worry, that's not the case, and a large proportion of us will be paying a lot more than £2,500 a month. Okay, so the latest energy price cap being talked about is the new government's energy price cap guarantee that sets bills at £2,500 for the typical or average household. But what does that actually really mean in practice? No, it doesn't mean you're only going to pay £2,500 a year. So the energy price caps are actually caps on the unit rates that you pay for each unit of energy that you use, not the total amount. So these rates have been set as follows with the cap. So it's 34 pence per kilowatt per hour for electricity and 10.3 pence per kilowatt hour for gas. So now, if you know the unit rates, you can get a much clearer idea of how much your energy bills will be this year if you know your actual annual usage rates. Now, if you don't know them, your household's energy usage, perhaps because you've only recently moved in, you can get a feel for how much your bills might be by thinking about where you fit into the national averages. Now, a lot of the price comparison type websites will ask you whether you know your low, medium or high user of gas and electricity. And as a rule of thumb, a low user is likely to be someone who's in a small house flat, 1 or 2 bedrooms maybe, and kind of low number of occupants. Maybe you live on your own or there's 2 of you. So a medium user is likely to be those in sort of a medium-sized house, maybe a 3-bed kind of terraced house or semi-detached house with 2 maybe to 4 occupants. Now the high users, that's probably going to be your ex-professional footballer. They've got the larger homes, the 4 or 5 bedroom plus homes. Now the medium user is the one that the price cap figures are based on, and this is why they talk about the average home owner. But of course every household is different, because some of us feel the cold more than others. Some of us have more heating demands than others. Some people have the heating on at a higher temperature. And also you get those people, some people work from home all day, some people are in work all day, some people have got their kids at home. So you're going to use kind of more. And also some houses are probably insulated better than others. Some people will just have the heating on all the time, because they do feel the cold. So there are huge differences. So that's why you kind of need to know what your numbers are. So that's why it's more accurate to give a meter reading and just use what the average is being used for the estimates, because that's why these people find they have this huge, suddenly my bill's gone up massively because I was using estimates before. That's because they were probably estimating on only 2 of you being there, there may be 4 of you living in the house. And that's what, so in many cases when the energy providers use estimates, customers generally find that their bills either massively overestimated or underestimated. So that's why your direct debit payments may not match up, or they'll fluctuate quite a bit. And you could end up with either kind of being in credit or in huge kind of debit to the account. So that's why it's good to kind of know exactly where you are. But so example of estimations of your bill. So let's go into an example of actually how it's going to look in reality. So now we're going to move over to the whiteboard, and we're actually going to demonstrate this in real life practice with using the average figures that we've got.
Okay, the table now, which you're going to see on screen, is what Ofgem define the high, medium and low annual usage of from back in 2020. So this will just give you a bit of an idea of how it's going to actually work out in real-time practice. Okay, so let's get into the table. This is actually going to break it down now into what you potentially actually going to be paying if you fall into the different kind of user categories. Now, obviously, we do, if you have your more accurate figures, we can actually calculate this. So across the top here, we got the low, medium, and high users based on the figures you just saw on the screen a second ago. Then let's have a look at actually the fuel types and how the charges will work. So electric, 34 pence per kilowatt per hour. So that's going to be the cap. Okay, that's going to be the maximum you're going to pay. Electricity standing charge, 46 pence per day. Okay, that's just for having the electricity. And that varies from region to region. You'll have to check exactly what yours is, but the average says it's about 46 pence per day. Now, gas, 10.3 pence per kilowatt per hour. Okay, and then the standing charge for gas, 28 pence per day. Okay, and then we'll work out a total of what you potentially will be paying then kind of each month. Okay, so let's go to the first one based on the figures we've got. So we're going to be looking as a low user, okay, we're going to be looking at about £612 per year, okay. And as a medium user based on the 34 pence, we're going to be looking at around about 986. Okay. And then if you're up in the high user, you're going to be looking at 1462 per year. So that's perfect. So let's have a look at the standing charges. So that's going to be kind of the same across the board now. It's going to be 106. We all got the same amount of days in the year, so that isn't going to change. So the standing charge is going to be the same across the board. Standard charge me £168. Okay, so let's move now to the gas based on the kilowatt per hour. So we're going to be looking as a low user, we're going to be at £824. Okay, and then for medium user, we're going to be at 1236. So 1,236. And the high user, we're going to be at 1751 per year. Okay. Right, so the gas standing charge again, that's going to be same across the board. So that's going to be exactly the same. So £102, £102, £102. Okay, and then we'll do the maths on this. So we'll do column by column. So the low user, your total's going to be around about the 1706 per annum. Okay, which works out as around about £142 per month. Okay, for that. And then if you fall into the medium category, you're going to be looking at 2492 per year. Okay, so that's where this 2,500 cap came from, which is then equates to 208 per month. Okay, so this here, the medium user, this is what they talk about when it's the kind of average household, is going to be below £2,500. And that's where this figures come from, 2492. Okay, and then the final one, if you're in the higher, is going to be 3483 per year. Okay, which works out as about £290 a month. Okay, so that's what we're saying is we're not going to see that everyone is in this cap here. Okay, it's all going to depend on your usage of what you've actually got. So you're either going to fall into low, medium, or high user. But I'd say if you've got your exact kind of figures, you'll be able to work out exactly what it's going to be. Okay, but that's just a bit of a rundown, a table format of how that's going to work with regards to your energy price cap.
So the government's new energy price cap guarantee is set to make annual bills around £2,500 for a household using the medium annual kind of average. So this will kick in from the 1st of October 2022. Now, this is an increase on the rates that the same household would have paid back on the 1st of April 2022. So we are going to see an uplift. But you've also got to remember as well, we are getting a bit of a government kickback as well. So the first 6 months, you will get a £67 discount on your bill over 6 months, which equates to £400. But there also are some other discounts available, depends on kind of certain benefits you may be paid. But you can go along to the .gov website and check those out. But in essence, this should have explained to you actually and give you a bit of an idea of how the actual price cap and energy cap is going to work. And it isn't just this thing that we keep reading in the press. It's a £2,500 cap. So you are going to be paying different amounts depending on where you are. But in reality, there is going to be a few of us who are going to see our bills still go up. Just not as much as we originally thought they would in October. So there is some benefit to what's going on.
Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe and remember to follow us on social media for more content like this.